No, the cat.
Yeah. How are you doing?
We're color matched. It's great.
Oh,
How are you doing? How's your eye?
it's doing all right. I don't know who I've,
You may have to scroll down.
Row is on the bottom, so I'm recording this. I
Oh, there
remembered to
you
turn
are.
the recording back on, and
Hey, Patty.
oh, there's
Brindle's here.
there's Eric. Did you see him jumping?
Here comes
Or-
Eric.
Oh, goodness. Well, we just had a conferee orientation. This is my second Zoom today. I have 2 more to go. And then we set up another one for tomorrow. People are so anxious about meeting you guys, meeting the editors and agents. And it's like, they're just real people who love the Lord, and they come because they really want to discover authors and get them in print. And Debbie keeps telling them that it's like a first date. You don't expect to get an engagement ring or a contract, but I think I'm going to end up doing another meeting with them because some of them are just brand new and they just, what do I do? What do I say? And Karen Whiting and Gail Roper did an incredible job with pitch sessions, but not enough people attended them. And so, well, the group is gathering. There's Jesse. Hey, Tim, hi. And
Tim is
Becky.
here. Hi,
So-
Tim.
Hey there.
Oh, wow.
And Miss Becky's
Becky.
here. Hey, Becky.
Becky. Hello.
It is so good to see all your faces. I'm disappointed, of course, that we're not going to meet up on the mountains, but this is feels so real. I mean, I really feel like I'm with you. In fact, I have to tell you, at last year's conference, they had me in my own little office, and I would walk out into the general area of our virtual studio where the rest of the crew was at. And I was expecting to see a whole bunch of people. I mean, I felt like I was really at a live conference. So I must be strange or whatever. I'm just grateful. Father, thank you for the technology that's making it possible for us to do this. Thank you for the faculty that have agreed to do this, Lord, because I know they're all coming out of busy lives and issues that we're all facing because we live in this world and it's a fallen world and life isn't always easy. But I thank you that the promise is that you are always with us and we don't do any of this. We don't have to do any of this in our own strength because you are with us. And so, Lord, as people gather and we begin to get started on this orientation, Lord, I just would pray that I can be as clear as possible after all the talking I've already done today. And thank you that other team members are here. Guys, we've got Laura is our prayer team captain, and Debbie Hardy is the one that always bails me when I get messed up with something with Zoom. And of course, Eric is our tech guru. And gosh, who else is here? Catherine's not here. Oh, there's Catherine. Catherine just, Darcy is here. Yes, you gotta do one of these things. Catherine just ended up on the team a week ago and has been sitting through 2-hour and plus meetings and probably wondering what she got into, but she's just been a huge help and encouragement. And I see we still got people coming in. What time is it? I'll give it one more minute before we, okay, well, let me say in the top of your chat is the latest version, revision 2 of the faculty information. It's just, I think I get things nailed down and then something else occurs to me, whatever. So if you have it, this is what we're going to be going through. I think so. I trust, I hope, I pray that most of it's really self-explanatory and and you guys have been around. Hey, Daniel, it's good to see your face because you're a new friend. And Dan Balo, hey, I still remember the workshop you did last year, pre-conference, that was just so well received. I mean, you guys are great. I mean, we've got an outstanding faculty. We really do. And I trust that the rest of you guys, how many are on now? Let me see my number, 23. There's a total of 60 of you. Well,
Marlene, you do
Honestly.
not have anything in the chat just yet, if you want to check in there.
Okay.
Yes.
I need to tell you that Scotty Domay will not be with us because she takes care of a disabled man, and something happened. I'm not sure what. Bottom line is he's now in ICU and she needs to be with him. So Lord, please touch this man and his health, give wisdom to the doctors, and Lord, give strength and energy to Scotty as she cares for him. You know, she does this caregiving with people that actually live in her home, and it's just, I don't know how she does what she does, but of course she's real disappointed that she can't be with us, and her session was starting off right away on Wednesday afternoon. So do keep Scotty and the guy that she is caring for in your prayers. And it's crazy. I was just saying yesterday, wow, Lord, no one's canceled. There's been no emergencies. And no sooner did I say that than I get the email from Scotty. So we have a conferee that was on in the orientation earlier today, and she was just getting off the orientation, and her husband came in and said, I just heard my brother has had a stroke, and they're leaving for Nashville. And so, you know, man, when you're dealing with a couple hundred people, life is happening. Ah, good. There's Barb. Are you going to work, or are you going to be really with us?
All of the above.
Yeah. Barb has just been a huge help to me. You guys need to know we have a team of actually 13 people.
Wow.
And so this is not something that I do, you know, by myself and my own strength, for sure. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of them and the skills that they bring to this. Eric, I don't see Tab yet. Tab is the one that's setting up our virtual studio that will be running about 20 laptops. Nothing is pre-recorded this year, for which I'm sure some of you who pre-recorded last year are probably glad.
Listen,
and
it
we're
is
calling-
possible Tab is busy right now.
It is very possible. Oh, there's my dog again. Whenever I get on Zoom, she makes her presence known. Otherwise, I call her and she doesn't come. Very interesting animal. She's a Labradoodle. The doodle in her is, I had no idea that she was going to be the most strong-willed, stubborn animal we've ever had in 58 years. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, disappear. So, okay. So anyway, the link for the handout is up there in the chat, and you know, let's just go through it.
Still
by
going with
bit.
no link for the handout in the chat, Marlene. If you want to check the chat, I'm not seeing a link for your handout yet.
Eric, I see it.
No, it is there.
I see it.
Did you send it to everyone, or did you send it to just Catherine
No.
Jacobs?
Me,
I
to
don't see it either.
everyone.
I don't see
I
it.
don't have it.
It either.
I don't
No.
have
Hey,
it.
real quick, everybody, physical hand up. If you see the link to the handouts in the chat,
Oh,
you're the lucky ones if you have your hand up. Okay, I don't. So Marlene, hey, how about this? Throw it in there again, maybe. I don't know.
that's what I'm gonna do. That's strange because it's going to everyone and I see it on my screen. And
It may have
See-
come in before some of us got into the chat. Is that possible?
Mhm.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
were, Darcy and I were on first, so that's probably why.
There it
Okay.
is.
There we
You
go.
see
Ladies and
it now?
gentlemen, the voice of reason. Her name is Patty Sheen. There you go.
Oh, please.
okay.
I
Well,
see it
it's
now. It just
also
popped
on
in.
on the Faculty Notes page, which now online says Faculty Notes Revised May 4th. But I hope that you all will go to that page and review it. I think it's organized pretty well because Barbie helped me with it. One of the first times when I did faculty notes, my webmaster printed them out, and I think he said they were 12 pages long. So, you know, part of what I do is I've served on the faculty of 70 conferences, and I always feel more comfortable if I have a sense of what's happening. So, but I realize I may overload some of you with a lot more than you really want or need to know, but the information is there, and particularly the page on the conference website, Faculty Notes Revised May 4th. Debbie, can you put that link in the thing as well for me? Oh, actually, it's on the top of the handout that I just gave them the link to. So So you do have that. So the let's skip down to number 3. Last year at both conferences, we had a day and a half that we could check people in. This year we have 4.5 hours. Otherwise it would be quite a bigger bill for me than it presently is going to be. And so we only have a 4.5 hour window, but we've worked through a lot of the, I think one of the problems that people had when they were trying to get in is instead of just typing in the slug, and in this case, this year, the slug is WHA 2022, it's on your sheet, .obv.io. They were adding in front of it either www or HTTPS. And the slug didn't like that and they didn't get anywhere. So, you know, hopefully, and Avio, between us and Avio, I think the process is going to be a lot more smooth this time. Now, I realize that 4.5 hours may not fit for all of you. If it's going to be a problem, let us know. We'll still have people, obviously, that can check you in, but it's just once that 4.5 hours ends, they're going to be doing a bunch of other stuff too. So that's kind of like asking them to do double duty. And the reason the check-in is so important is you can't get to anything with the conference until you've checked in. Doesn't mean that once you've checked in, you have to stick around and be with us solid for 3.5 days. I mean, we're glad to have you in as many of the events as fit your schedule and interest you, but you know, you can't get into anything until you have checked in. So the way that you do that, number 3, in fact, I'm going to share my screen now. I have to warn you, when I shared it yesterday with the first conferee orientation, don't you know that my whole computer locked up? And I couldn't use Control-Alt-Delete to get out of it. I had to do a hard reboot, but then it didn't reboot. I was pushing buttons and it wouldn't turn on. Are you seeing the screen? Okay, I see Catherine nodding her head. Good, thank you. That's our beautiful YMCA of the Rockies in Estes Park, My Mountains. And we hope to be back there next year, May 17 to 20. This is the screen that you will see when you come into the conference, both for the first time when you check in and also when you return at any point. So I wanted you to see the pretty picture because I love Colorado. You know, God could have asked me to direct a second conference any place in the nation. I am so grateful that he chose Colorado, you know, and that area of Colorado. It's just, what a blessing, what an incredible blessing. So in any case, when you're going to enter WHA, this is number 2022 obv.io in your browser. And then you're going to be prompted to enter a new password. And then you're going to be asked to sign the waiver below. And let me do a share screen again. And this is why there's been so many revisions, because writing legalese is not something I've been trained or educated to do. And so, and I realized that I was being redundant. Let me see, where is the screen that I want to show you?
And
Hang
while
on.
Marlene is sharing that screen, if anybody
Yes.
has gotten in and looked at some of the handouts, right? I've seen the PDFs, I've seen the faculty stuff. No. That was revision 1, maybe 2. This is revision 18, let's say. So I hate to tell everyone to read it all again, but maybe just review it real quick.
So in any case, this is the page that will come up. I think you're seeing it now. That is the waiver. And as I explained in the handout that we're working from, when I made the decision to combine the conferences, I figured we were going to get double conferees. I mean, of course. And what I'm still hearing from people every day is they're waiting for information on the August Philadelphia conference. And I mean, and I have done more with social media than I have ever done. It is so frustrating. And I keep saying writers write, they don't read. But Catherine said to me that and she's been coming regularly for years. She doesn't even go to the website until June or July. So what's going to happen, I suspect, is right now we only have, I think, under 40 people registered from the East Coast. Meanwhile, they're coming from 33 states all over the nation. And a lot of new folks, and I'm excited about that. But because of that, I'm going to have a lot of disappointed people when they find out that, Philly isn't happening this year. It would have been our 38th year, but it's what it has to be this year. And so in any case, we'd like to be able to make
And hear a stinking thing. I forgot.
Okay, someone needs to mute. I don't know who that was. Didn't recognize the voice. So we'd like to be able to make the videos available to the people that find out about it after the fact. We're not going to make a fortune on this. Hopefully it's going to help us cover our expenses. But everybody that either has already registered, as well as staff, as well as faculty, everything will be available just through Labor Day. And I know that maybe seems longer than the 3 months that I said originally, but it's going to take us until sometime early in June to get everything up on YouTube. It's incredibly time consuming. So it's going to be a whole package deal, but if you have a problem with that, I can delete the link to your session. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, she's just taking advantage of us. What my whole heart, and I think those of you who know me and know me well know that my heart is to encourage and equip people, as our purpose statement says, to write about a God who is real, who is reachable, who changes lives. And we're living in such critical days. And when I hear about worldwide famine, and when I look at the violence in our nation, I don't know. None of us can know what next year is going to bring. So I just want to make as much available to people now, and not assume that we're always going to be able to do this. I mean, who would have thought that a pandemic was going to shut us down in 2020 and then last year send us to virtual? But I am so glad that we went virtual. I'm excited about what we can do with virtual. And Eric, you had the vision for that from the get-go in terms of that it was going to be incredible. And it truly has been. So let me share another screen, and then I'm going to go back to seeing all of you. And I don't know if that worked. Are you now seeing a dashboard with all sorts of colors?
Yes.
Whoa, good. Hey, thank you, Father. So if you've been with us before, you know that we have an agenda. And for instance, Liz Higgs, tomorrow or Wednesday afternoon is doing an afternoon with Liz. And we look at the schedule. She's in room 1. So people will scroll back up and they'll hit room 1. I think it's as user-friendly as I know to make it. And I don't think we have to take a lot of time going over the details with the dashboard. Erica, do you think of anything that we need to really tell them about the dashboard that
I'm just curious, how many people, and I can't see hardly any of you because we're screen sharing, sorry about that. How many of you, I'm going to scroll through, physical hands up, how many people have done a live virtual with Marlene before, right? I'm seeing Darcy, right? Tim, you have. Patty, yep. Michael. Okay, Abby is not. Hope Bollinger, have you guys seen Hope by chance? Looking fantastic. I thought it was a picture. I'm like, okay, Hope Bollinger put up the most amazing photo of her, and she should really have her camera on. Oh wait, Hope does have her camera on. She actually looks that fantastic. She's also being attacked by a wild animal. Okay, so if you guys have not done this before, understand 2 things. Number 1, this is going to be easy. Okay, you go to WHA2022.obv.io. It's in the chat. It's in the handouts. It's everywhere. That is the only thing you really need to know. Okay, other than your area of expertise. But go to that link. You're going to log in one time, go through the whole registration process. After that, it takes you to that dashboard. Those big, bright buttons. That's your world. That's it. So if you're doing meetings in room 1, you click on room 1. What happens then is Zoom opens up. It looks like this, but everyone's going to say room 1, Eric Sprinkle, room 1, Darcy Gudger, room 1, Tim Ritter. Okay. Everyone's going to be in room 1 with you. We're going to make you co-host. We're going to enable all your screen sharing. We're going to mute all those people with their dog barking in the background. Don't worry. Okay. It's going to be pretty squared away that you guys just show up and just work the magic. Okay. When you're done, you leave the conference, you leave whatever. Okay. Right. You go back to the dashboard. Now you got some time off, but oh my gosh, right? Like all of a sudden, like, yeah, Scotty Domay was going to do something, but now Debbie Hardy's in that spot. I want to listen to what Debbie Hardy has. She's in, right? Look at the schedule. She's in room 6. Click on room 6. Guess what? Zoom opens up again. Let it open. Yep. I know some of us are zoomed out. Trust me. Let the Zoom open. Go in there. Now you're in Debbie Hardy's room. It looks like this. It looks like everyone's there. They're not. It's just Debbie Hardy in a Zoom room. Bring in the fabulous Debbie Hardy goodness. That's it. And you're in on it if you're in that Zoom. If you leave that Zoom and go to another, now you're in Hope Bollinger's Zoom. Okay. Then you leave that and you're in there with Rowena. Now you're in there with Jim, right? Whoever you're in with, that's your particular Zoom room, if you will. I don't want to overuse that term because everyone's like, oh, a Zoom room. That's this, that's that. You're in a Zoom room. Okay, there you go. So the key is it's going to be real easy after about the first time you do it. Okay, the first time you do it is going to be pretty simplistic. After that, it's riding a bike, you guys. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's all you're doing, okay? But the first time I'm going to tell you. Oh, and Becky Spencer, you really could mute yourself just for kicks. Oh, okay.
What is that?
That's Becky Spencer's other something. You're on your iPhone, Becky, but I think you left your laptop on. I don't know.
There we go. She muted herself there.
Beautiful.
Okay, found it.
There we go. Okay. How about I'll make 3 quick points. Number 1, this is easy after the first time. Do your first time with us in the most relaxed way, not 2 minutes before your session. Come in when you've got tons of margin and we'll get it all worked out, you guys. Okay. Easy peasy. Yeah. Number 2, everyone's going to mess their Zoom up. Everyone's going to be unmuted at the wrong time. We've already listened to a woman make a private phone call. I'm telling you, if it was to her stockbroker, we'd all be rich because we heard everything. All right. You're all going to mess up your Zoom at some point. Don't worry about it, you guys. Don't worry about it, because point number 3 is the important one. If you guys have been to Zoom events, if you've been to other writers' events that used Zoom, I am now going to make an over-the-top declarative statement. Agree, disagree, whatever you want. I'm going to say it anyway. This is going to be a live Zoom event unlike any of the others you've done. There's going to be more connection here. There's going to be more interaction with the participants in general sessions, outside of general sessions, in your sessions. You are going to notice participants feeling comfortable, laughing, sharing openly. You are going to find something that you usually find in like a midweek Bible study community group kind of thing, that level of trust where people share with you. You're actually going to see that, you guys, in your Zoom sessions. Continuing sessions, you guys are going to be buds by the time you're done. I kid you not. It is amazing what we've seen in the past. I fully believe it's going to happen this time. People just connect at Marlene's live virtual conferences, unlike any other conference. You can tell me I'm wrong. Tim Ritter, you're looking at me like, oh, maybe Eric, maybe I believe you, maybe I don't. Okay, I'm just saying right now. Tim, enjoy the Southern California sun. And number 2, wait till it's over and then tell me I'm wrong. Wait till you've seen the emotion. Wait till you've seen the connection, the strong connection that comes here. This is going to be an amazing conference, you guys. Don't sweat the Zoom stuff. Get past it and then just do your thing. You're going to love it. It is going to be so fun. Marlene, thoughts?
Okay, well, going back to getting you guys comfortable in this, Barbie, are you getting responses in terms of whether they're needing us to really be there in a monitoring sort of way, or where are we at with all that? You know,
Okay, so I have gotten some, and I won't read the names that have not responded. I'll say congratulations to these that have responded. Ingrid Beck, Hope Bollinger, Tess Brooks, Tamara Clymer, Holly D. Herrera, Sharon Elliott, Darcy Gudger, Gail Kittleson, Cindy Lambert, Dave Lambert, Sherry Langton, Catherine Lawton, Richard Ryman, Tim Ritter, Tab Scheffler, sorry, and Laura Schaefer. These are our own people, I guess. Oh, Patty Sheen, Linda Evans Shepherd, Becky Spencer, BJ Taylor, and Terry Whalen. If you're not one of those names, please respond and let me know if you can handle it on your own or if you need some help. Thank you so much. And
the
Shane
situation
Crabtree, I
that we
still need
ended
your
up
phone
in
number.
here is last year, all of our workshops were pre-records. This year, they're all live. So that means that at any given time, we have 14 things going on. The appointments are going on plus 9 continuing sessions, or the appointments are going on and 7 workshops and 2 clinics. So there's no way that we have enough staff to actually be there, you know, for each one of you. But we're not going to leave you stranded either. In our virtual studio, all the monitors, you will, from what Tab is telling me now, Eric, she's concerned about bandwidth. So they're not going to be seeing us, but we will be there and be seeing them. And if you will come in 15 minutes before you're scheduled to speak, which Tab is pleading that you do, we can make you the co-host. If you're going to use PowerPoint, if you need to do screen share, that can all be worked out. Another group will just be leaving as you're coming in. But this can all be done in chat, you know, the 2 of you back and forth. And, you know, so we want to take good care of you. I mean, the thing that I realized when I finally started to work on the dashboard, which has only been about a week and a half ago, understand I did this twice last year, but it's been 8 months since I did it. I couldn't even remember how to get back into Avio, the site that we have purchased the software from. And I'm freaking at this point. I finally get in, nothing looks familiar. And I'm not remembering how I did anything. And I'm just about having a full-blown panic attack at that point. But what that said to me is that I can't assume, even for those of you who were with us last year, that you remember how we did any of this. And last year we did a whole lot with actual training sessions. I mean, Eric talked to you about ring lights and, you know, all sorts of things. And we've not provided any of that this year. And so we just want you to know that we are there for you and we want to be as helpful as we can, but we won't know that you need more help unless you tell us. We can't guess it. So, and it's a really good idea to let us know sooner rather than later. So please respond to Barb's email. You've been so good responding to her emails. She writes.
Let me add that
wonderful
Jim
emails.
Hart and Shane Crabtree, I just found yours in my spam folder. So congratulations to you too.
Okay, so let me go back to when you're actually checking in. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
I'm not going to go back to that. Let me go to Patty and to Eric, and then I'll go
For
ahead.
those of you who don't know, especially when you're teaching a workshop, under reactions, they have these lovely little things where the hand like this, that's supposed to be clapping, and the thumbs up and the heart and all that sort of stuff. At the bottom of that, it says raise hand. That's what Eric and Patty did. Raise hand will make that person go to the top left of everyone's screen. So we know that person is first in line to ask a question. So tell your conferees that, and then to not lower their hand until they're done talking, because we had some panels last year where they asked a question and then they lowered the hand and we were talking and their picture was like 3 pages over and we couldn't find them. So you click on raise hand just like that. It puts the hand up there and it does not go away until they manually take it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfecto.
That is just such good information, Debbie. And we had 72 conferees in the orientation a couple hours ago, and we told them that. And I'm going to do one more session with them tomorrow for those who are concerned about appointments or just still have questions, whatever. But Patty, do you have a question?
I do, Marlene. Let me confirm what I think you just said. When we're going to do a presentation, we have 15 minutes with somebody before our actual presentation to work things out. Is that
Correct.
true?
Correct.
And then after that, if you answered that you were on, you think you could make it on your own, that's what you're going to be.
Well,
After that.
nobody will be totally on
Well,
their own
yeah, but
because
nobody's
all
going
of
to be
the,
sitting there in the room with me saying, you better do this now.
we will have these 20 laptops running in our virtual
Right.
studio at Tab's Church. And I mean, some of our staff will be looking at 3 laptops that are piled on
Okay.
top of boxes. But
Okay.
even though you can't see us, they will be able to see you. And I do have some people remotely who can, and what we did with the conferences last year for the continuing sessions, we offered someone that would be a monitor through the whole thing. And I think that's especially helpful where the chat is concerned. I mean, I know when I'm speaking, I can also be looking at a chat. I mean, I multitask all the time, but that's beyond what my brain cells can handle. So, you know, if you're really needing that, we want to provide it. And we've got a handful of people who are available. So again, you need to let us know. And
Okay, well, I answered. I'm stepping out in faith big time here. I prayed over that answer before I said it. So, but I think if, you know, if there's somebody going to be there for that 15 minutes to kind of work things out, I think I'll be okay. I think so.
yeah, well, all of this, guys, is a faith walk. It certainly is a faith walk on my part and on the part of the team making this happen. You know, we can't do all this stuff and manage this tech stuff in our own strength. You know, there's no way. But we have,
Well, thank you.
we're a
Marlene. I
community
appreciate
of people working together, and with God's help, we can make it happen. So Eric, is your hand up because you want to add something?
My hand is up, yes, because I want to kind of jump in on what Patty was talking about. Guys, when we're talking about having someone in a room with you to help you monitor the chat, to help monitor times, you know, so no one monopolizes your one-on-one. I'm just going to say right now, real time, real world, last 2 years, most of the people who said they needed someone in the Zoom conference didn't. They just sat there and did nothing. You guys are probably a little more capable in this environment than maybe you think you are. Patty, I'm talking to you. You are more capable in this environment than you think you are. And if you're, and you know what, if you're Marlene and you're with, right, like I can't present and watch chat. No problem. Ignore the chat. Let the people do in the chat what they're going to do. And at the end of your session, hey, you know what? Now let's go ahead and look at the chat, and I'm going to review. And if there's any big questions in there, if we've got time, I'll take them here. If there isn't time, I'll give you my email address and we'll take them offline or something like that. Bingo. I just took care of my chat, right? This is not as hard as you think it is. Now, here's the thing. When you do check in, you're going to go to tech check. And someone's going to be very simply saying, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can I see you? Can I hear you? Well, you all look pretty fantastic right now. So you all kind of got the lighting down. You all kind of got the camera issues down. That's 90% of the issue right there. I think you guys are going to show up. And if you have someone in there, it's going to be a non-issue. We're going to make you co-hosts so you can mute and unmute people. You can share your screen, everything you want to do. We're going to give you that functionality to begin with. We don't need to be in there with you. So, you know, and you know, Chris and Roy, a couple of those sessions, they were in there because they wanted to hear what you guys were presenting on, not because they were helping you. You guys literally didn't need any help. They just stayed on for the rest of the continuing session because they like what you were saying. So don't sweat too badly what's happening. And showing up early is not necessarily that we're going to work one-on-one with you. Presumably showing up early is going to be you showing up early, not showing up 2 minutes before you're scheduled to present and then saying,
Yeah, I don't know anybody that does that. Ha, ha, ha.
Nobody does that, right? Nobody in the history of Zoom, nobody has ever shown up. And so help me, that is when Zoom will absolutely decide you absolutely positively need an update right then. So I'm just saying, you guys, we lose track of time, but as much as you can, show up, 10, 15 minutes early. Make sure you're there, make sure you're good. And yeah, do a mic check with whoever's leaving and just be like, hey, Tim Shoemaker, I'm taking over room 2 after you. Does everything look good? Boom, boom, boom. Done. And for the record, who thinks it's interesting that who did Barb say went to her spam? What? We send stuff to Barb Haley and it goes to spam? Really,
Oh, it's
Barb?
crazy.
Oh,
It's crazy the way spam works.
One thing I do want to talk about in terms of monitors is how we're handling the appointments. First of all, last year we had as many as 6 people in a 30-minute appointment. And we had promised to the faculty that each one of them would have a monitor and they would be timing. And if people got 5 minutes for their pitch, then they would be, doing the stopwatch. We found last year, there were some of you that did want that, but I would say the majority were saying, hey, I've got this. And this year, the most that you'll have in an appointment room for the 30 minutes are 4 people. And in some cases, you might have just even 2 or 3. So, but if you feel like, man, I really need someone to check this out. I need someone to be a bouncer in case someone turns up in my room that's not on the list of who's supposed to be there then. You need to let Barbie know and quickly, because the team is meeting again on Zoom after this meeting finishes. The team is going to meet and we got to get this nailed down. I do have some people available to do this. But again, I need to know who needs what, and especially where the appointments are concerned. That's probably is the most critical, most important thing to our conferees. I mean, they're really thinking they're hoping, they're praying, they're going to wow you, and they're going, you're going to love their work and want to publish them. Obviously, we know that's not quite how it happens, but we want to make sure that we do everything we can to make the appointments run as well as they can. And I would add there, and we're doing something brand new this year, and I didn't put it on the notes, but it's on the website, on the faculty notes, revised May 4th or whatever the date is, it's on the top of your handout. We're doing a brand new thing. I did it once before, many years ago, but will they read on? We're going to have 2 panels. One will be book editors. The other one, thank you, Debbie. The other one will be magazine editors. And we're going to ask people to put in the chat the first 100 words or whatever of their manuscript, and then the moderator will read it, and then you guys will jump in with comments in terms of will you read on. But we want to encourage people, not falsely encourage them, but gosh, we don't want to wipe them out either. I mean, there's been a couple times through the years that we've had somebody walk out that said they were never coming back. And, and Tim Shoemaker, you came close to walking out at one conference, and I happened to be sitting there and you didn't walk out and the rest is history. So, but it's just really important that we find a way to provide honest feedback, but encouraging as well. I mean, the first book that I ever worked on was a children's picture book, right? And it was titled, are you ready for this? Flossie, the flopsy-eared basset hound of Barking Hollow. Now, doesn't that title grab you? Don't you want to read that book and buy 10 copies for all your grandkids? I mean, it was, I remember when I shared it with 2 friends at church, we were laughing so hard. I mean, this was years later when I realized just how bad it was. But, a little bit of encouragement goes a long way. And also from that standpoint, a lot of writers, and you guys know this, they're writing out of their pain. This is very often how people process the tough stuff that they've been through. And so God's entrusting them into our hands. And so we don't want anybody to get so discouraged that they quit and give up, but we don't want to falsely encourage them that they think that they're God's gift to the writing world and everybody's going to fall over with what they have presented. So does all that make sense to you guys? I'm sure it does. I mean, most of you have been around a long time and doing this for a long time. Darcy,
You're muted.
you're muted. You're still
You're
muted.
still
I know
muted.
I have to find, finding the cursor is always a challenge when you're like moving around the screen. But I just wanted to say, like, if anybody would feel, I'm like tomorrow morning, like super early. Eric and I are going to be in the air all day tomorrow, so we won't be available. But I'm just, if anybody wants to spend a few minutes, I know I've done this with Holly and Lori. If you need to just do a, hey, I would feel so much better and I can actually sleep tonight if I could just do a flyby through my presentation, practice sharing screen or something like that, just let me know. We could do like, 10, 15 minutes on Zoom just to go through the steps if that would be helpful and help you sleep. But I'm very limited on my time because we've got, staff meetings and stuff. So only if you are going to lose sleep over it. But that's something I know Barb offered that earlier, but if somebody didn't get that opportunity and you need 10 or 15 minutes to try to do that, we can try to work something out, because I hope that was helpful for Holly and Lori. I think you guys, we did our little Zoom, they're my Zoom buddies. So
Well, and I'm not flying tomorrow because the conference is, our virtual studio is in New Jersey, so it will take me an hour to drive there. And so I'm here. It's not that I don't have anything to do tomorrow, but drop me an email, whatever, be glad to Zoom with anybody, help in any way I can. But I think Eric is right. You guys are going to be fine. You really are. And as I look at the faces right now on this screen, so many of you were with us last year, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be an incredible conference. I mean, just gauging by all the stuff happening just in my life, much less other people's lives. The timing of first a dishwasher, first a laundry tub overflowing twice and a plumber, and then the same day the dishwasher dying, and then my refrigerator dying. I mean, and my laptop freezing up during an orientation yesterday. I mean, the timing is just curious, shall we say?
Let me give you some helpful hints here. First of all, your Alt key is magnificent. It does amazing things for you. I'm a keyboard player, so I like to do keyboards. But when you're on a Zoom call, if you want to remove your audio, you do Alt A. And that does the mute on and off. So you don't have to look for your cursor. You don't have to touch that thing down on the bottom. It's just Alt A. If you want to take your video, stop the video, it's Alt V. Just that easy, okay? And if you want to leave this screen and go to another screen, like if this screen freezes up, Marlene, I'm talking to you. If this screen freezes up, use Alt Tab, and it will show you. If you hold down the tab, it'll show you everything that you have open on your laptop, on your computer, and then you just tab over to the one you want to go to. So if you freeze up again, do that. I have had that happen on a Zoom call. I go to something else, I come back and everything's unfrozen. So use your Alt key, Alt A for audio, Alt V for video, Alt Tab to go to another screen.
That is cool.
okay, but that does not work for a Mac, because I just tried it on my Mac and we don't have an Alt key. We have Command and Control, and I just tried it and I'm not getting it. So that works for a PC. I'm not sure what the keyboard shortcuts are on a Mac. So that might be just something Googling. Just Google it. I'm sure they're there. It just works different. So I just tried that on the Mac and it didn't, I tried both the Control and the Command. So yeah, I'm just saying, if you have a Mac, it's probably different. Our Zoom looks different too when I was talking to Lori this morning. So this is just something to know if you are dealing with like attendees. Zoom, when they updated it, has moved their taskbar to the top on a PC. It's still at the bottom for a Mac. So there are some structural differences just to be aware of when you're dealing with people and they're on a different platform, whether it's a Windows or an iOS. So just be aware. If anybody needs Mac help, I'm on a Mac. So maybe that's something I need to figure out, is if there's command.
Go Mac.
Yay, Max.
Tez, you have a question.
Yeah,
Tez has a question. I'm sorry, Tim.
Tim has a question.
Tim has a question. Sorry, Tez.
It's more of a statement. I think you could, for keyboard shortcuts, just Google like type
Mac
of
keyboard.
like Mac
Keyboard shortcuts.
keyboard shortcuts. They'll get you to whatever weird stuff Apple does.
I agree. Weird.
Can I throw a few more just little power
Sure.
user hacks for you guys? Okay, so everyone for sure is in gallery view right now. Yes, give me a physical thumbs up if you're in gallery view. Perfecto. Gallery view is where the magic happens when your users are not in gallery view and you're talking about all the smiling faces and everything, and you're doing the whole like physical hands up and they're like, I can't see anyone. I only see Lori. Okay, you're in speaker view. Lori's fantastic, but go to gallery view. You want everyone to be seeing this. That encourages the connection. That encourages all the participation. Okay, when you're seeing everyone and you're calling people out, right? Okay, right, Tim, I see you're getting it. I see you nodding, right? Where at Rowena, you're still looking maybe a little shaky on this. Do I need to touch it more? And Rowena's like, I have no idea what you're saying, right? Okay, so make sure you're in gallery view so you can check out everyone. Speakers, we live and die by crowd reactions. This is not, I get it, you guys. This is not that, but it's as close as you're going to get. So use the tools you have, okay? Also, chat. Does everyone have the chat open? Physical thumb up or hand up if you have the chat open. Fantastic, guys. The heartbeat of your session is in the chat. You will hear people say, no chat. They should be listening to me. I'm sorry. That person is probably older and not familiar with how Zoom works and how you get people to interact with each other. Chat is exactly what you want open. If you guys have not been in the chat, you haven't noticed that we're talking about Zoom buddies. We're talking about sharing links. We're talking about there's Zoom links in there. Guys, chat is the heartbeat of your session. And whatever you do at the end of your session, make sure, absolutely sure, you do not leave without going over to the chat, going down to the very, very bottom where you enter text. There's 3 little dots there. Click on the 3 dots and choose Save Chat. You are going to be amazed when you go in there and you look at what you presented, and then you look at how people responded to your points as you presented it. It went, again, Patty Sheen, if you're like, I don't have the bandwidth to follow chat, don't worry about it. But afterwards, Patty, you are going to see where that illustration you gave that was like a throwaway statement, right? We've all done this. This throwaway statement, 3 people responded to your throwaway statement in the chat, and then they all shared email addresses with each other because they want to talk about it offline after the conference. I'm telling you guys, chat is amazing. It's where your participants are going to connect with you and with each other. So absolutely make sure you're keep an eye on the chat, know it's there, but save your chat after sessions. You're good to go on that.
The problem I have, Eric, with that is that I'm fairly severely visually impaired. So if I have to have that chat big enough to where I can see it, then I can't see anything else. Like right now, I've got the chat over to the side. Darcy's name, Darcy's first name is on 4 lines. So
Gotcha.
I keep switching back and forth.
Do you
that's
wanna-
the only way I can do it.
Do you want to hack for that, you guys?
After your
I'm like half
session,
blind.
check it out.
So
If you guys want to hack for that, if you guys are like, okay, I'm not saying anyone's old, but like, yeah, like my screen size is really huge. I'm just going to tell you, at some point, we're going to show you what our production area looks like. We call it Wallzilla. It is a wall of TVs, okay? Or in this case, we had like 2 huge TVs. Darcy and I, we had to put on sunblock standing in front of these things, okay? I'm telling you guys, with 1 cable, HDMI cable, go to Best Buy, find some cute boy, Patty, and ask him, how do I hook this up to a TV? He'll sell you a cable, probably for $20 more than you need. Out your video to a big honking TV, you guys. When you do gallery view on a big 60-inch TV, I mean, come on, Tim Ritter, like how big is your TV at home, right? You're like, oh, 60 inches in the bedroom, like the 72s in the living room. Like, come on, you guys, you have honking big TVs. Just out your gallery view to the TV, you will have 0 problem.
That's cool. That is
I don't
really
know.
cool.
Well, that's
What
not
do
what
they-
I want to be broadcasting though, so or listening. That wouldn't work for me,
Yeah.
Eric. Thanks for
Let
the
me-
Okay,
advice,
for
but
Mac
no.
users,
Mac users?
I have,
Yes.
I found the keyboard commands for Mac users. It's Command Shift A, Command Shift V. For A is for audio, V is for visual. So you have to just add that extra key, the Command Shift. So hit the Command and the Shift at the same time, and then A and Command Shift V. Because if you just do Command V, it's going to do what it did to me in the chat, and it posted my last pasted whatever was on my clipboard. So because it works across all applications. So those are the commands for Mac users that we have them. It's just an extra keystroke.
Okay.
I know
Amanda, you've
Darlene
got your
is
hand up.
teasing me about my Mac.
mean,
I have probably a stupid question, but
No.
no, so at AMG, in the past, we always had like our acquisitions editor and everything. And so like Rick Steele and Dan Pinwell was always the one that went to the writers conferences. And since we haven't had that, and our staff is so diminished, I haven't done it before. So as a publisher, like, do I need to necessarily have anything to present? Because the type of material that I'm looking for these days is very limited anyway. Like, do I need to have something to show people just to be like, hey, this is us, in case people don't know who we are, or what?
Okay, that's a great question, Amanda. And two things. We will have a book editors panel, and we'll have a magazine editors panel. I think that happens the second day. That happens on Friday. On Thursday, we have the indie publishers and the agents, 2 panels going on at the same time. Because of all the information that's on the website, which we hope that they visited, and because you've provided Barbie with the information of what kind of things you are looking for, we're going to overwhelm the conferees with the size of our faculty if everyone on the book editors panel goes through their whole editorial needs. That's the homework they should have been doing long before this. So when I'm moderating the book editors panel, Debbie Hardy does the magazine editors. I'll ask different kind of questions to get the ball rolling. What is right now? I'm out of questions, I think. Geez, I really am. I do a lot better when I'm actually moderating the panel, but they aren't hard questions. They aren't detailed things. There's nothing that you have to prepare for. I might ask what you're seeing as the trend, although who can answer that? I mean, no one's got that magic ball that we know what the trend is going to be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now. So on the spot, the Lord usually gives me, some great questions to ask, and then we open it up to the conferees to ask questions with the caveat that I tell them this is not their opportunity to pitch their idea. It may sound like a really great idea to them because, wow, I'm being a good steward of my time. I'm able to pitch to 20 people all at once. We don't let them do that. So I think you'll find that you're really going to be comfortable with the panel. And the other time where you're going to be with conferees one-on-one will be in the mealtime roundtables. And I so appreciate that you guys are willing to do them. When we're a live conference, we usually give people up to 5 appointments, sometimes even more. We can't do that as a virtual conference. We need 40 computers running the conference. It would be totally, I think my team already says, what have you done? It's already immense. But the roundtables, again, you don't have to prepare anything. People that are interested, Amanda and you and AMG, they're going to come in, they're going to have questions. And I don't think they're going to be questions that, have to throw any of you. And it's just really an opportunity to get to know people, because Christian publishing is so built on relationships. So I'm grateful for you guys being willing to do the roundtables. The other thing I should mention quickly are the critique groups. And those of you who said that you were willing to do them, if you read the other information on the faculty notes on the website, please do. We're going to ask the conferees to paste their first 100 words into the chat. And then you'll critique that. And I did one last year with Ava, and we had a great time with it. And the conferees, responded so well. And So thank you for being willing to do that. And the other thing going on at that time on Thursday and Friday afternoon will be Q&As. So again, thank you for the people who said they're willing to do that. And the other opportunity, two other opportunities for connecting. We have set up a faculty chat room, and there is a big button on the top of the dashboard. What happened, and I'm not sure how to get around this, but I've had faculty saying, well, I went in there, I really wanted to connect, and there was nobody in there. So you might almost want to set an appointment with another faculty member. With your permission, I would gladly send the roster with all your email addresses. I don't know that you want me to do that, but if you'd like me to, you can drop me an email and tell me, but the chat room will be there and available. The other thing we're doing, and it's going to happen twice a day on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we're doing small group breakouts. The program will automatically drop 3, 4, 5, 6 people into a room because you're on our attendee database. You'll get dropped into a room as well. You don't have to go there, but if you would like to, we'll provide a question ahead of time, and it's like a 10-minute time frame, but some amazing things have happened in those small group meetings. And I really think in many ways a virtual conference provides even more opportunity for people to get to know each other. I think it's especially helpful for people that are shy, and not all writers are extroverts by any means, and I think it's easier for a lot of them to connect on screen than it would be, like going into the dining hall and where do I sit, and do you go up to this table and say, can I join you? I mean, and I was on faculty, I think it was at Mount Herman, and I had been tasked with putting the names of the faculty on the tables in alphabetical order. Well, the way it turned out, I was in the far corner, and guess what? No one came to my table. And I was mortified. I went into the bathroom and cried, of course. But when I came back, one of the publishers sat down with me. But when it's virtual, you don't deal with that kind of trauma. And I guess that goes back to my high school days, okay? Let me see, was there anything else on my list? Yeah, one other thing on the bottom of your list is the phone numbers that you can call or text during the conference. We will have someone on the other end of that phone. Thank you, Debbie Hardy. And so the help is here, it's available, but you got to ask for it if you need it. So I think with all this said, before it gets too much later, because I really want to hold this to close to an hour, do any of you have any questions, anything that we haven't covered or anything that we're wondering about? Or let me add there, I just saw Tab jumped in. Tab, do you want to add anything? Eric, you just had your hand up. Do you want to add something? What do you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Just to reaffirm, you guys, you have phone numbers. Those are real phone numbers. Those are not scam phone numbers. Okay. That's my phone number. So, late night, you can't sleep. You got my phone number. Just saying. Okay. When you guys have issues, because you did try and log in 2 minutes before your session and you're panicking, I get it. Call the phone number. You got it in the chat right now. You got it in the faculty handouts. You got it everywhere. Call the number. If I don't answer, if someone does not answer that phone number, here's the thing. Don't leave a voicemail. Okay, I'm sorry, that's 1980s. If you don't get someone on the phone, send a text immediately. It doesn't even have to be wordy. Just, I need help, call me back right away. We will then basically, as that phone is ringing off the hook, right, because there's 6 other people having trouble, you guys get priority. So if we see a text from you and 3 other attendees all calling for help right at the start of a session, we'll go to you first, we'll get you squared away, and then we'll get the attendee squared away. But just make sure you can go round table and start calling numbers. But if you're calling Barb Haley, she's in Texas. She really can't do anything with our production area. I'm just telling you, okay? So call the phone number. Yeah. Yeah, right. Saving Barb here. Call the phone number. Emails work okay too, but if it's really an emergency, call that phone number, the 719-322-6992. Call that and you'll be good to go. And yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, you're going to have a fantastic time with this. Amanda, there are no dumb questions. Although one of the attendees did ask, I'm in an appointment with Jesse. Do you know what he's going to ask me at the conference? No, I do not. I just know Jesse's the nicest guy on earth. So whatever he says, you guys, you are going to be the experts. You are going to be the authorities on whatever they ask you, Amanda. You're the expert on it already. No sweat, you guys. You're going to share your industry knowledge. You're going to share your industry experience, and you're going to tell silly stories about how like things have gone awry in your lives and in your writing journey. And they are going to be thrilled to death with it. This is going to be great times, guys. Tab, I think you got something to share with us.
Patty has her hand up.
And Patty has her hand up.
Yes, I have there is no such thing as a dumb question, but I have a dumb question, and I'm going to ask it on the hope that maybe somebody else is thinking the same thing. About a week ago or so, I don't know, somehow I did something on my computer to where I get notifications from Facebook and Twitter and all this on my screen. I don't want that happening when I'm presenting and sharing my screen. How do I get that out of there? Do you know? Anybody know?
We can talk offline unless somebody here has also
Okay.
done that. I'm just going to say,
All right.
guys, don't do that. Don't do that.
What I did, and Debbie, thank you. Do you know how many times I've tried to figure out how I was able to see all my screens at once? I could never figure out what I did to do that. So yeah, that was enlightening, let me tell you.
Let me add quickly that while texts work with the numbers that we've given you, I hate texting. You do have my cell phone, but email works for me unless it's an emergency. But you know, I will try at least to respond to emails. So that's always the best way to reach me. And Tab, were you going to share something?
Yeah, I was going to share two things. First off, texting is so much better for a good portion of us because we're listening in on somebody else's, like if classes are going on and I've got 4 computers sitting in front of me. So I'm looking at all 4 of you at the same time. And I'm listening in on one at a time because I only have one set of headphones and one set of ears. So if you have a problem and I happen to be the tech behind that, I want you to know, raise your hands, you know, because that's going to get my attention just in case I'm listening to Marty, but Debbie Hardy's having a problem and Deb needs my attention right now. Yes, I see that. Okay. I can't hear you if I'm not plugged in specifically to the computer that has your room. And I will have at least 4 to 5 computers for each person. So keep that in mind. You want your tech to help you. We're there. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is due to bandwidth, most of your texts are going to be in a blank screen. It does not mean we're not there. We are very much
I did tell
there.
them that, Tab.
But unfortunately, the bandwidth at the church is a little shabby. I'm sitting there and working on it today to get it better, but it's better for us to be in the dark. And the last thing is to be early, is to be on time. And the reason I say that is because ahead of time, I have each one of the texts going to be looking for the next teacher for the next set, whatever is going on next. So we can go on pretty much quickly. And if there's already a problem, I can start looking for you. I can't look for you if you're not, I don't want to look for 40, 50 people at a time. So if you can be there early and just wave your little hand, then I can see you and say, oh, Debbie's there and she's ready to go for the next set because she's up next. They have a list of who's going to be in that room that is sitting on that computer. So we know already, oh, I see your name or I see Deb's come in. I know that you're ready and you're going for the next class. So that will make us know whether we need to look for you or not, or whether we need to help you or not. That's it. Really easy.
Okay. Anybody else?
Just a quick suggestion. You might put your contact information for any class that you're teaching, put your email, website, whatever you want the conferees to have, put that in the chat at the beginning and at the end of each session. So they don't have to search through there to find it. And you might tell them to put their own email address if they want to contact each other, but you want them to be able to contact, well, if you want them to be able to contact you, put that in the chat.
Yeah,
and then
we do not give out your contact information without permission. So
and they can save they can save the chat as well. Anybody can save the chat, but once you save it, that's as far as it's going to go. It's not going to save anything that's added after that. So at the end of the class, say, okay, everybody, if you want to save the chat, go ahead and do it before we get out of here. And then they can save it and it'll save it to their computers. And another thing, you notice Becky Spencer's window is very, very thin and narrow because she's on an iPhone. If people are on an iPhone, if we're talking about you, Becky.
My laptop's giving me fits. I'm glad it happened today, so I'd know in time.
Good. A lot of times, if you turn the iPhone sideways, then her picture becomes bigger. Not always. I have a friend that does that exactly. But I have others, it will become sideways and then they can see the gallery view. So just if some people are asking about that, sometimes they can do it that way.
One last thing. Some people are going to come on phones. They're going to use other devices like an iPad. I personally use my iPad all the time when I'm looking at a Zoom conference or something of that sort. Theirs works differently. So they're not going to have the stuff that a computer has. We have suggested, highly suggested, that they use computers, but that doesn't mean that they will. So there are things that they will not be able to do on the iPad or the phone that they may be able to do with their computer. So if they're saying, I can't do something, the first question I would probably say is, are you on a computer? Because chances are you may not be able to do something if it's not on there.
Good point. Good point. Okay, anybody else? I mean, we've covered a lot of ground, and seriously, if you'll just go on to the website, to the faculty notes page and just do a quick skim. I think I covered most of those things, but you know, because I'm a writer, I'm big for putting it in writing. I don't want to just hear it. I want to see it. That makes a difference for me. So, but the bottom line is, this is the Lord's conference. He's in control of things that obviously we can't control. You know, if there are glitches, that's an opportunity for God's people to extend grace. I mean, I've been on with some people that do events for thousands of people, and they're supposed to be the gurus, and they've had issues with tech. It does happen, but we're not gonna freak over it. You know, this, and I think Eric helped set the stage for that. We're gonna have fun. You know, we're gonna worship the Lord. We're going to become better equipped to serve him through the ministry of words, but we're also gonna just have a really good time. You know, writers have a good time when they get together. They really do. And so I'm just so pleased with the faculty that, you know, that God has brought together, that you guys have all said yes. And Father, I'm praying that each one of the faculty, for as much as they're giving, Lord, I pray that they will also in return receive, partly because we never arrive in terms of everything that there is to be learned about how to, you know, effectively write and market and all this stuff that goes with it today. But Lord, the conference is also about just stretching us and growing us closer to you. And so I would just pray that, you know, in a very sweet and special way, you would minister to each one who is coming. And Lord, we're going to thank you in advance, and God bless you all. I am just so looking forward to Wednesday and trusting by then that I'll have everything ready, me and Barbie both. So,
An answer in the chat. Each chat saves with a different name, so it doesn't replace the previous one, and it has a timestamp on it. Yeah, so you'll figure out which is which.
Yep, named by timestamp. So every time you save a Zoom for the same day, you got the Zoom chat. Yep. Abby, question?
That's Holly. Even though it says Abby, it's Holly, and you're muted.
Oh,
What?
that's weird. Sorry about that.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're not even using your real names. Come on, you guys.
That's my daughter. I have no idea why that's okay. Anyway, I'm just wondering, will we know how many people are in our critique group and in our sessions to kind of gauge how much time we'll have for kind of interactive prompts and things like that?
It's going to change throughout your session. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Just like this, right? We had 26 in here. Now we have 21 in here. It's going to bounce around, Holly. It's going to bounce around. So don't worry.
For the
and beyond that, Holly, I mean, what I said to the conferees in both of the orientations that I've done they're not locked into the choice that they gave us when they signed up. So while we could go through our roster and send you, and normally when it's an in-person conference, we do provide the numbers, but even then those numbers aren't accurate because we tell people that they are free to change. And beyond that, you know, you may, like Erica said, the numbers are going to change. You may have, you know, 4 people that are not going to be there the first half hour and then are going to jump in because they've had an appointment during that time. So
I think if you
for the critique,
if you
to be
look
least
at the
more
bottom,
accurate.
it says participants and there's a number.
yeah,
That gives you an idea, you know.
but it
might
doesn't give her
change.
that information in advance, which I think is what she's
Oh,
wanting.
oh, gotcha.
And
Well,
for the
I'm mainly
critiques,
wondering about the critiques.
we didn't have people sign up for the critiques, so I have no idea of how
Oh,
many
okay.
people will end up in a critique group. And you
Okay.
don't put yourself under the time pressure of, oh my goodness, I have 20 people in here. How am I going to do this in 45 minutes? You're going to take them, you know, in the order that they put their thing, and not everybody's going to maybe get a chance. You do as many of them as you can. The first critique group I ever did at a conference was at Biola. I had just finished my first television interview and I came back to this room that was filled with 70 people. And it was like, oh my goodness, Father, what am I going to do? And it just worked. It just worked. I mean, so much of this, we can't pre-plan. We just have to let him lead and just relax.
And you probably already know this, but people will try to slip in more than 100 words. You only have to critique the first 100. So don't read everything that they put in there. You read until you think it's 100 words, until you have a good idea of what they're talking about and how they write, and give them feedback on that. You don't have to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it tend to be a lot, or, I mean, do you tend to have a lot of people that sign up for the critiquing, or?
A lot of people come in just to listen. They don't put their information on there. They want to hear what people are going to say. A lot of people are too afraid to put their writing out there. So you'll probably have more people listening than you will have submitting for critique.
Well, and on the schedule, Holly, you can see how many groups are going on Thursday and Friday. And that time frame also includes the Q&As. And not everyone's going to do it. I mean, we're trying to create this real interactive conference where people stay with us and don't leave. But you know, at some point they got to take a breath and, you know, maybe eat a meal or take care of a kid that's crying. So, you know, we just, yeah, that nature does call. Absolutely. So,
and we'll learn from what you say to other people. So even if you don't get everybody down you don't get everybody on the list, don't fret about that, because that's part of it.
One of the things I discovered last year in the critique group, the caliber of people there are really good. And I would say, everybody, what do you think about this? What about that? I think Patty was one of the people in it last year, I believe.
Yes, I was, and I loved your class, Tim.
Yeah, and it was use the people in there to get them involved. It gets them thinking a little more critically. So you got some really good conferees. I was quite impressed.
Okay.
Did everybody in here hear that? What do you guys think? What do you guys judge the caliber of your folks, but, you know, again, the interactivity is just, that's what people keep coming back to Marlene's conference for.
Yes.
This is not talking head and you all listen and we'll take questions at the end. That's somebody else's virtual event, you guys, not this one. This one, everybody's mixing it up. And you heard Tim, right? These guys are pretty fantastic at that.
Look at Darcy's advice in the chat, everybody.
Yeah, but also, you guys, it's virtual. Like wear shorts, wear your comfy little jams in the morning. Come on, you guys, like it's virtual.
If you dress from the top up, you're good. Nobody's gonna see anything else.
Just don't stand
get
up.
up and walk away,
Just don't
and then
stand
you better just mute your video.
Yes, and I
Do
wish
wear
people would be
pants.
encouraged. I wish we had an issue last year. I don't know if folks remember. I wish the conferees would be encouraged if they are eating. It's kind of nice to turn off your camera, because there's times when people, they just don't eat well. I don't know how else to say it. And there were some people that were kind of grossed out by a couple of uncomfortable and comments were made in the chat. And I don't think the person that they were talking about ever read the chat, so they didn't even know. And, it was mentioned a couple of times, please turn off your camera if you're eating, but there were people that ignored it.
If it's in your workshop, you can turn their video off. You can turn their audio off. You cannot turn them back on. They have to do that, but you can turn the video off.
Maybe that way they get the message, huh?
Yeah.
We have given you guys quite a bit of power in your sessions as co-hosts. So yes, you may be able to do that. I'm just saying, hello, how amazing are you guys? They're eating mac and cheese and they're still in your session. Like, hello, how compelling can you get? They got little dinosaur shaped chicken nuggets and they're munching on them, listening to you. Like, that's pretty amazing, you guys.
Listen, I had a nightmare last night, Marlene. That nobody showed up at my workshop. And you said, I don't care. You have to do it anyway because it's being recorded. And there's an off chance that somebody might access that in the next 90 days. So
all those Philly people want to see you.
I hope that's not true. I hope there's at least 3 or 4 people out there that are interested in my topic.
I'm sure that they are. And for those of you who don't know, Patty does a Step Into the Light podcast and obviously does not have a problem talking and sharing herself. So, we just roll with this and keep our eyes on the Lord and keep our eyes open for the people who you interact with that are hurting, because I can guarantee that there's going to be some people that are in a lot of pain from life experiences, and that's why they've come, because they want to write about them. So you're going to make a difference in people's lives, and you're going to help to open doors for them. Maybe not, let me put that a different way. You're going to equip them to be able to later walk through doors that will open.
Well, I hope people realize that I'm not only doing how to start your own podcast, but how to be a guest on someone else's podcast and those kind of tips. Marlene, I wanted to ask you on a personal level. I sent you something in the mail, snail mail last week. Did you receive it?
No.
Okay. Keep watching.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
So.
Well, open it.
So guys, we're 15 minutes over what I had hoped to do, and since the team will be gathering in another less than 45, I think I'm going to end this meeting. Encourage you to share this, to save the chat if you want to do that, and we will see you at check-in on Wednesday. And again, let us know if that time frame just can't work for you. It will take 5-10 minutes, but if it can't work, we're going to make sure we get you into the conference, but we just don't want to do that 10 minutes before you're scheduled to speak. That's more pressure, time pressure, than any of us need. And I used to think time pressure was exciting. I worked in an editorial office and I loved deadlines. Oh, have I come to eat those words, let me tell you. So, okay, well, good to see you.
Holly has a question really quick.
What?
Yeah, Holly, do you have your question?
I'm sorry, my hand's still up. I didn't realize I had to lower it, and I
Oh,
figured out how to
okay.
change my name too. So
Go back to reactions, and it says lower hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
All righty. Well, we will see you guys on Wednesday, and God bless you all and keep you safe.
Y'all have a lot on your plate. God bless you all, and especially Marlene. Praying for you, dear. Take care.
Eric and I are flying all day tomorrow.
See you guys then, and I'll wave as I fly over or by. Yeah.
And I haven't been on a plane since like 2019. I miss it.
They haven't changed at all.
Yeah.
Rowena, my daughter-in-law, Sarah Harmon with CCAI said hi.
Hello.
That's Chinese Children Adoption International. She knows my daughter-in-law.
Oh, how cool. Rowena, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good
to
to
see you
Rowena.
too.
You know,
So
a
good.
year
Great to
older
be
than when
here.
I saw you last. Wow.
Rowena hasn't
It's
been around a
It's
while.
been 2 years.
It has been. It has
There we
been.
Rowena,
to see you.
if you're still in Chicago, Rowena, I will wave at you as I change planes there and then fly back to the West Coast. And I think I change and then go to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to spend a lot of time
I
traveling
have a
tomorrow,
direct
but
flight from Denver.
whoever set up your
What?
travel plans loves you. Whoever set up mine, not as much. I think
I
I,
did the best I could do.
I'm not complaining. I'm going to get a
I
lot of
mean, I do
reading
have to
done,
come
you
from
guys.
Casper, so I have that. But I mean, at least my Denver flight is direct to Philly. So
I went to New York, visited my sister, had to fly clear to Orlando, Florida to get to the Philly conference from Albany, New York. Now figure that one out.
Makes sense. And I mean, especially with the price of fuel being next to nothing these days. So you'd think that they would rethink some of their routing because of that. But well, I'm going to hit end because
Okay, God bless everybody.
We have to
Bye.
get back on.
Eric, can you
so
hear
we'll
me?
see you on Wednesday.
Save your chat. And Tim, yes.
All right, so just a quick question. Is it better with the mic? I've got an auxiliary mic or without it, is what I wanted to find out.
I'm just going to tell you guys right now, even if I don't hear your auxiliary mic, I'm going to say it's better with the mic. If nothing else, having that mic, I mean, you guys tell me, you see Tim now, he's got a mic right there. Does it not just add weight? Does it not just add like officialness to him? I'm just saying, no, I mean that in all seriousness, you guys. If you have a mic, if you have a lapel mic clipped on, I'm just saying your audio guaranteed is going to be as good or twice as good. It's never going to be worse. Super Mike Tim Shoemaker. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. You guys don't need to have an amazing mic. Like I swear Macs just have amazing microphones, but yeah, your Windows PCs can be a little tricky. I've got this noise canceling headphone on because I'm at Panera Bread. Hello. But additional mic is never a bad idea, you guys. Because Patty's going to have her podcasting mic and sound amazing.
Daughter bought me a beautiful new mic. Now I'm using this just to listen, but for the output, she bought me this beautiful, much more expensive mic than I would have ever spent money on. So
that's what I'm talking about. You guys are going to sound great.
Daughter who has more money than I do. So
we sound like we're at the bottom of a swimming pool. I know.
No,
yes.
no, really, is the audio good?
Yeah,
it's very
fine.
Good.
Everyone has been fine.
Great. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
Again, goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Goodbye.
Tim, do you want to stay on and talk to Marlene a minute?
Yep.
Tim? Do you want to talk to Marlene a minute?
Yeah, well, you're going to do a
You're on mute.
prediction, Tim, right? Unmute yourself.
I'm muted. Okay, yep. What was that?
I saw an email that you're going to do a Q&A, not a critique.
I think so. I just take so long at the critique, and I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of dead air as I'm reading it. And I like to process it. I'm going to give them something surfacey. I'd rather give them something good. So I thought, well, if we just go with questions, and if we ran out of questions and somebody wanted to do that, I'm all good with it. But I hate to have everybody waiting while I'm looking at it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you realize you'd only be looking at about 100 words, so it's not like you're getting a manuscript as such. You're just getting that opening paragraph, whatever. But we can do whatever you want to do. I just have to get it changed on the dashboard. So
yeah, let's change it. And if somebody wants to do that, we can. But usually I'm really slow doing that. And when I finally figure out what I would recommend, it's good, but it takes me time. And usually
you want to give your best. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And usually what they have in the first 100 words, their gem is going to be farther down. It's going to be page 3. And I'm going to say, move that up, you know? So, so anyway, yeah, that would be great. And the other question I had was on Friday, when you have that testimony time, you know, I mean, what do we do? Just, is there a schedule? I mean, that's a big chunk of time to know when
the way I'm doing it is we'll start with worship with Marty Getz and then Bob Hostetler's message, and then Linda Shepard's going to share about her Esther movement, and I just wanted you to share about, you know, getting ready to walk out the door and not going and keeping at it. It's like 5 minutes of just encouraging them. I mean, the biggest thing that I think writers struggle with, and the tool that the evil one just keeps using, is discouragement, you know, and if we give into it, and if we listen to all the discouraging voices, especially our own, too many writers who are really gifted end up quitting. And you were close to quitting that day, and you didn't.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
That's all. I mean, it's, you know, very spontaneous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got no problem with what to share. That's good. I just wanted to, you know, make sure I'm not missing it, or whatever that I'm, you know, when does it come on, you know, type of thing. It's one thing when you're in the audience and, well, we know it's coming at some point, but, okay.
I'll have Linda do her thing first, and Linda will follow Bob Hostetler, and then you. I might even throw a song in between there. Now I probably will put the song after you. I haven't planned any of that out yet.
Okay.
One step at a
All right.
time. I'm
Yep,
still
for
all trying to get
sure.
you to the conference, to the dashboard, and so it's been
Okay.
fun.
And for that last keynote, I was going to start out with a skit, and I can start out a different way. I think I'm going to do that because it would be hard. I'd have to find somebody to sit here with me and do a skit to get them. But that was going to be the opener for it. And, but I will do something a little bit different. So otherwise with two people, we'd be farther back and I have to get a second person. So would have been easy if I was there, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you. It's man, it's been
right.
too long. It really
Yeah, I
has.
know it.
So
Yeah, it's been a long time.
yeah.
So,
Well, whoever thought a pandemic was going to shut us down like it did, and it just incredible days we're living in for sure. So
yeah. Did you get stuck? Did you get all your money back okay from Rocky Mountain? You know, the why?
Yes, they are working with me. You know, they're just good people. They are just really good people. And I just realized
good.
I never shut off the recording. So I have to figure out how to trim this one too. I hate trimming videos. That is the most miserable. If I could just
no.
find a piece of software I understood, but the one that comes with Windows, and it's free, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to my brain. So, and I have to get the one posted for the conference. So gosh, I've got 30 minutes before I'm back on with the team, so I better take
See you
care of
later.
those things.
Bye-bye.
Okay. God bless
Bye-bye.
you, Kim. We'll see you
Love you,
soon.
Kim. Marlene,
Yeah.
I had sent an email asking you to open a PDF, but I got it done.
Oh,
So
okay.
so you can ignore that.
Okay.
Secondly, Candy Thompson just sent me photos of alderwood boxes and a review from a former ghostwriter for Marilyn Hickey. She said, send them on if you think you should. Should I send those for the appointment?
I don't know. I'd have to see them. I mean, I think she's got something really important that needs to be shared, especially with what's happening right now with Roe versus Wade. You know, at this point, I would say, Barbie, use your own judgment. Who are they going to?
I was just gonna look for that. I don't know, Candy Thompson, she's 172. They're going to Daniel, Hart, and Allstorf.
To Blythe, to Jim, and what was, the Debbie Ulster. I think you can use your own judgment. And if that's all she sent, if that's the only way that her work is introduced.
No, she sent a one sheet and a first page.
You know what, then maybe I'm kind of inclined, because I don't want to overload the faculty with what we're sending them. Looks, as long as she's got the other stuff, let's just go with that.
Okay, and she said, send on if you think appropriate. I just won't respond then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You won't need to. One less email that you have to send.
See you in a little bit.
All righty, bye.
Bye.